Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the explosive developments coming to Port Charles on Wednesday, December 3rd, where multiple storylines collide in dramatic fashion. This episode promises to deliver shocking returns, romantic entanglements, family confrontations, and life-altering decisions that will leave viewers on the edge of their seats. From unexpected arrivals to dangerous temptations and devastating revelations, the residents of Port Charles are about to experience a whirlwind of emotion and drama that could reshape their lives forever. The episode kicks off with one of the most heartwarming surprises in recent weeks as Kevin Collins makes his highly anticipated return to Port Charles. General Hospital enthusiasts are well aware that Kevin has been spending time abroad in Dublin, presumably handling personal matters or professional obligations that required his presence overseas. However, Tuesday's show will feature Kevin's unexpected homecoming, catching everyone off guard, especially his beloved wife Laura Collins. The moment Kevin steps through the door and locks eyes with Laura, the chemistry between this iconic couple will be palpable. With his signature warmth and affection, Kevin will greet his wife with the tender words, "Hello, beautiful," a simple yet profound expression that encapsulates the deep love and connection they share. Laura's reaction will be a mixture of shock, joy, and relief, as she never expected her husband to return from Dublin ahead of schedule. This spontaneous reunion will undoubtedly bring a much-needed moment of happiness and stability to Laura's life, especially considering the various challenges and complications that have been weighing on her mind. Kevin's early return may also suggest that he has resolved whatever business took him to Ireland, or perhaps something urgent has drawn him back home to support Laura during this tumultuous time in Port Charles. Meanwhile, across town, Giovanni Joe Palmieri finds himself at a crucial crossroads in his relationship with Brooklyn Quartermaine. The talented young musician has been grappling with internal conflicts and external pressures that have strained his bond with Brooklyn, someone who has become incredibly important to him both personally and professionally. In a vulnerable and honest conversation, Joe will confide in Brooklyn about something significant that's been bothering him, specifically revealing that there's something he simply doesn't want to do anymore. This cryptic admission could relate to various aspects of his life, whether it's pushing people away, suppressing his true feelings, or perhaps dealing with the complicated dynamics surrounding his connection to the Quartermaine family. The most likely interpretation is that Joe will finally open up about his decision to stop distancing himself from Brooklyn, acknowledging that his previous attempts to create emotional distance were misguided and counterproductive. He'll likely express his genuine desire to continue rebuilding their relationship, demonstrating a newfound maturity and willingness to be vulnerable. Brooklyn, being the compassionate and loyal person she is, will embrace this development wholeheartedly and reciprocate Gio's sentiments. Furthermore, Brooklyn will take it upon herself to orchestrate a reconciliation between Joe and Dante Falconeri, recognizing that the fractured relationship between these two men has been causing pain for everyone involved. She'll make it her personal mission in the coming episodes to facilitate meaningful conversations and create opportunities for Joe and Dante to work through their differences and find common ground. This storyline promises to explore themes of forgiveness, family bonds, and the courage it takes to admit when you've been wrong. In another corner of Port Charles, Emma Scorpio Drake's fierce determination and unwavering commitment to doing what's right will take center stage. Following Jocelyn Jax's revelation about Professor Henry Hank Dalton's secretive second laboratory, Emma's investigative instincts have kicked into high gear. Armed with this new information, Emma will likely become obsessed with tracking down the location of this hidden facility and uncovering exactly what kind of questionable or potentially inhumane experiments are being conducted there. Her primary motivation stems from a deep concern for the welfare of animals that may be suffering as test subjects in Professor Dalton's ethically dubious research projects. Emma's compassionate nature and strong moral compass won't allow her to sit idly by while innocent creatures are potentially being harmed in the name of science. Her determination will manifest in full force as she begins piecing together clues, conducting surveillance, and possibly even planning a rescue operation to liberate the animals from Professor Dalton's clutches. This storyline highlights Emma's evolution from a young student to a passionate advocate willing to take risks for causes she believes in, even if it means putting herself in potentially dangerous situations. Over at Drew Kane's residence, the tension surrounding his impending wedding to Willow Tate reaches a fever pitch. In a moment of passionate declaration, Drew will firmly assure Willow that absolutely nothing and no one will prevent him from marrying the woman he has fallen deeply in love with. His words carry both romantic conviction and a hint of defiance, suggesting that he's aware of the various obstacles and opposition they're facing. What makes this scene particularly dramatic is the presence of Michael Corinthos, who has been desperately trying to sabotage this union. Michael, unable to accept that Willow has moved on, has been reduced to lurking outside Drew's window like a spurned lover, watching and waiting for an opportunity to intervene. The awkwardness and desperation of Michael's actions speak volumes about his emotional state and his refusal to let go. It's highly probable that Drew will catch Michael spying on them, leading to an explosive confrontation that could escalate quickly. One can easily envision Drew storming outside in a rage, verbally eviscerating Michael for his inappropriate behavior, accusing him of trespassing on private property, and threatening to contact the authorities if Michael doesn't vacate the premises immediately. The heated exchange will undoubtedly be filled with accusations, insults, and barely contain violence as both men struggle to maintain control of their emotions. However, this unexpected interruption and confrontation might actually serve an unintended purpose by providing Willow with additional time to reflect on her impending nuptials. Standing on the precipice of a life-changing decision, Willow finds herself torn between moving forward with Drew or acknowledging the lingering doubts that have been gnawing at her conscience. The question that hangs in the air is whether Willow will ultimately walk down the aisle and commit herself to Drew, or if she'll have a last-minute change of heart and call off the ceremony altogether, unable to ignore the voice inside her head telling her that something isn't quite right. Following his humiliating ejection from Drew's property, Michael will seek solace and distraction in an unexpected encounter with Jacinda Bracken. When these two meet up, there will be an undeniable spark of attraction and a sense of what could have been hanging between them. Michael will candidly express his regret that they didn't meet under more favorable circumstances, wishing that their initial connection hadn't been tainted by the complicated machinations and deceptions that brought them together. Jacinda will echo his sentiments, revealing that she too feels the weight of their fabricated relationship and wishes things could have been more genuine from the start. This moment of mutual understanding and vulnerability may open the door to something more authentic between them. Speculation suggests that Jacinda might be the catalyst for taking their arrangement to a more intimate level, potentially extending an enticing invitation for Michael to join her in the bedroom. The proposition would transform their fake relationship into something more tangible and real, blurring the lines between performance and genuine attraction. Michael, emotionally raw from his confrontation with Drew and his ongoing heartbreak over Willow, will find himself facing a powerful temptation. Will he give in to the physical and emotional desire that's clearly building between him and Jacinda, or will his lingering feelings for Willow prevent him from moving forward? This storyline promises to explore Michael's vulnerability and his need for connection during one of the most difficult periods of his life. The drama intensifies at Curtis Ashford's residence, where law enforcement makes an unexpected appearance. Curtis will find himself face-to-face with Detective Nathan West, and his first instinct will be to ask the question that any concerned citizen would. Am I under arrest? Nathan's response will likely be measured and deliberately vague, explaining that while Curtis isn't technically being arrested at this moment, there are important questions that need to be addressed, and Curtis's full cooperation would be in his best interest. The implication is clear that Curtis is being investigated for something serious, and his willingness to voluntarily comply could make the difference between being treated as a cooperative witness or a potential suspect. The detective will make it abundantly clear that accompanying him to the police station isn't really a request, but rather an expectation, leaving Curtis with little choice but to agree. While Curtis is being escorted away to face this unexpected interrogation, another explosive scene unfolds back at his house involving Trina Robinson, Stella Henry, and Marshall Ashford. Trina, who has clearly reached her breaking point with the lies and deception that have been swirling around her family, will deliver devastating news that leaves both Stella and Marshall completely blindsided, with barely contained anger and hurt radiating from every word. Trina will confront them with a cutting observation captured in Tuesday's preview video. "Sucks to find out that your family has been keeping secrets from you." This rhetorical question drips with sarcasm and pain as Trina throws their own hypocrisy back in their faces. The revelation she's referring to centers on the fact that Marshall and Stella deliberately concealed information about Portia Robinson's pregnancy from other family members, participating in a web of secrecy that has now unraveled with devastating consequences. Trina's outburst will go beyond just addressing this particular deception, as she may also reveal explosive new information related to Drew Cain's blackmail situation, potentially connecting dots that neither Stella nor Marshall had previously considered. The confrontation promises to be emotionally charged and uncomfortable, forcing all parties to confront the painful reality that secrets and lies, no matter how well-intentioned, inevitably cause harm and erode trust. The Ashford family is clearly entering a period of intense turmoil and soul-searching as they navigate the fallout from multiple revelations and betrayals. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Curtis and his extended family will continue to face significant challenges in the episodes ahead, testing the strength of their bonds and their ability to forgive and heal from the wounds that have been inflicted. The road to reconciliation will be long and difficult, but it's essential if this family hopes to emerge from this crisis intact. Next, we will explore the tangled web of forgiveness and second chances swirling around Liesl Obrecht and Britt Westburn, a story filled with emotional highs, fierce loyalty, and the challenge of healing old wounds. Liesl Obrecht's confrontation with Willow Tate. Liesl Obrecht, a woman who has lived through heartbreak and betrayal, visited Willow Tate in hopes of guiding her toward reconciliation with her birth mother, Nina Reeves. Liesl's determination was evident from the start. Her message was clear and unwavering in its intensity. She saw the emotional wall Willow had built and, choosing blunt honesty over gentle persuasion, reminded her that holding onto resentment can destroy even the closest ties. In that moment, Obrecht wasn't just offering advice, she was challenging Willow to mature and recognize the profound impact forgiveness can have within a fractured family. But Willow's struggle is real. She faces memories of Nina's past mistakes, old secrets that refuse to fade, and uncertainty about whether trust can ever be rebuilt. Despite these doubts, Willow's heart remains tethered to the idea of reconnecting with the mother she never truly knew. Liesl's visit planted a seed, nurturing hope for a renewed relationship. It's a testament not only to Obrecht's wisdom, but to the power of familial bonds that refuse to die, even in darkness. The hypocrisy of Liesl, unsettled grudges with Britt. While Liesl admonishes Willow and pushes for family unity, she herself walks a tightrope of hypocrisy. Her relationship with Britt Westburn, her own daughter, is anything but harmonious. Liesl preaches forgiveness to others, yet clings stubbornly to the grievances she holds against Britt. The tension between mother and daughter is palpable in every shared glance, every awkward silence at the family dinner table. Onlookers see the irony and wonder why Liesl, so firm in her counsel, cannot apply the same compassion to her own situation. This struggle with Britt began long before recent events. Years of disappointment, betrayal, and misunderstanding have shaped their dynamic. Liesl's pride and her complex past as both victim and perpetrator stand as barriers. Each interaction with Britt is layered with hidden pain and missed opportunities, as if both women are speaking different languages of love and regret. Britt's complicated choices. For Britt Westburn, life has been no less challenging. Facing judgment from her mother and the scars of her own questionable decisions, Britt finds herself at a crossroads. The infamous fake demise operation, one of the most daring schemes in Port Charles history, left her in a precarious position. She was not the mastermind, but rather swept into the scheme by circumstances beyond her control. At the mysterious Five Poppies Resort, Britt made choices under duress, aware that revealing too much could endanger those closest to her, including Liesl. Britt's predicament is one of self-preservation and loyalty. She longs for her mother's acceptance, but is trapped by secrets that could forever shift the balance of family power. At times, her silence is as painful as the accusations hurled at her. The internal struggle, balancing the urge to confess with the need to protect, creates a compelling portrait of a woman desperate for redemption. Nina Reeves, peacemaker on the horizon. The potential for reconciliation doesn't rest solely with Liesl and Britt. Enter Nina Reeves, newly reunited with Willow, emboldened by her own journey of forgiveness, and now poised to play the role of peacemaker. Nina's insight into Liesl's character, her empathy for Britt's suffering, and her growing confidence as a mother and mediator give her the perfect vantage point to help bridge the divide. Nina sees Liesl's pain mirrored in her own experience with Willow. She understands the heartbreak of separation and the healing offered by forgiveness. With gratitude for Liesl's help in mending her relationship with Willow, Nina may attempt to repay the debt by encouraging Liesl to give Britt another chance. Her interventions might be subtle, a private conversation, a thoughtful gesture, or dramatic, as Nina has never shied away from taking bold steps. Nathan West and Rocco Falconeri, family influences. Family gatherings in Port Charles are often the stage for unexpected alliances and emotional breakthroughs. Nathan West, always a stabilizing force, seeks to foster connection and understanding. When he invited Britt to join Liesl and himself at the table, even Rocco Falconeri sensed the tension masked by polite conversation. Nathan's efforts revealed a yearning for normalcy and the hope that fractured families can find common ground. Rocco, though young, represents the future, a new generation untouched by the bitterness of the past. Their presence at the table is more than symbolic. It's a reminder that sometimes healing requires a chorus of voices, brothers, sons, uncles working together to create space for forgiveness. Britt's secrets and looming consequences. The truth behind Britt's involvement in the fake demise continues to shadow every interaction. Her conversation with Jen Sidwell uncovered new layers. Britt was manipulated, coerced, and ultimately forced to cooperate at the Five Poppies Resort. These revelations could color Liesl's perception, making forgiveness more attainable. But there's always risk. Britt can't divulge too much without potentially exposing Liesl to retribution. Their world is ruled by secrets, and the stakes remain high. As these hidden truths simmer beneath the surface, Britt's actions may come to light, offering Liesl a clearer picture of her daughter's pain and motivations. Whether Britt confesses or Liesl discovers the evidence herself, the resulting emotional fallout will be dramatic. Port Charles is no stranger to high-stakes confrontations, and viewers are eager to see what lies ahead. The future of reconciliation. Will Ulbricht heed her own advice and truly forgive Britt? There are hints that this could happen, especially as new information emerges and outside forces like Nina push for peace. Both women deeply desire reconciliation, but the path is fraught with obstacles, old wounds, unspoken truths, and the ever-present risk of betrayal. Should Liesl choose forgiveness, the impact would ripple throughout her family. Healing with Britt could unlock doors for further happiness, rekindled trust, and a stronger, unified family. It might also provide inspiration for others in Port Charles who face their own fractured relationships. The narrative arc demands growth, and viewers are invested in watching Liesl and Britt transform their pain into possibility. Detailed analysis, motivation, psychology, and Port Charles backdrop. The psychological complexity of these characters sets General Hospital apart. Liesl's urging for Willow to forgive Nina is not just motherly advice, it is driven by her own need for validation, control, and love. Liesl projects her insecurities onto Willow, hoping that someone will choose reconciliation even when she herself feels incapable. This duality exposes her vulnerability, a trait more familiar to friends than foes. Britt, on the other hand, is wrestling with guilt and the hope that her mother will someday understand her sacrifices. Her decisions, shaped by the pressure of dangerous schemes, highlight the challenges faced by women trying to survive in a world full of secrets. Each move she makes is laden with consequence and the fear of eternal estrangement. Port Charles, with its history of labyrinthine family ties, tug-of-war alliances, and dramatic revelations, is the perfect setting for such stories of forgiveness and redemption. Every chapter brings fresh complications, unexpected heroes, and moments of profound insight. Invented elements. What could happen next? Looking ahead, imagine a scene where Liesl, perhaps with Nina's encouragement, arranges a public gathering at the Metro Court restaurant, inviting friends and family. Tensions would rise as unresolved issues resurface, but a heartfelt speech from Liesl broadcast live for Port Charles could initiate the healing process. Nathan might recount moments from his childhood that reveal Liesl's capacity for love, and Britt, moved by her mother's vulnerability, finally shares her story. Another invented twist. Rocco uncovers a lost letter in Nathan's old study, revealing Liesl's attempts over the years to reach out to Britt. The letter becomes a catalyst, shifting family dynamics and prompting emotional conversations about forgiveness, regret, and the meaning of home. Conclusion: the power of forgiveness. The saga of Liesl Obrich and Britt Westburn is more than a simple tale of a mother and daughter at odds. It's a story of healing, courage, and the enduring spirit of family. As Port Charles braces for new revelations, one truth remains clear: forgiveness, when given freely, can transform even the deepest wounds into the foundation of enduring love.